Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about forging and alchemy, how the legendary crafting works, and what you should be aiming for when trying to get more legendaries. The first thing you need to know is that the material you use here will directly influence in the crafting chances of higher rarities. For instance, if I use a blue one, it will have 0.4 or 0.3% chance of making a legendary. If I use a purple one, I have 2.6% of making a legendary item. So you want to be using the highest rarity you can, and only blue, purple, and yellow has a chance of making legendaries. If I try to use a white material, it will have no chance of making legendary and no chance of making purple. Green ones have 1% chance of making purples, but no legendaries. So these two are not very useful, and you usually want to be selling them unless you want to get more forging EXP by just using them to craft, or maybe if you want carving EXP. But it's also very little. I would still advise you to sell them to afford upgrading your clone, because you usually will be having money problems unless you're a big spender. Anyway, this directly influences your crafting chance, and the forging supplements here also will affect your crafting chance. For instance, the white supplement here, it has the base of 0.1% chance of a legendary. So even if I use it on a white item, it will still have 0.1, which is coming from the supplement here. So one thing you can do in scenarios where you don't have a high rarity crafting material here, but you have supplements, you can still use them to build pity, which will increase by 1 actually, by just having the white supplement here. And it also has a ridiculously low chance of making a legendary. We're gonna leave this crafting. There's one thing also that I will talk about, which is your pity bar. I can go here and talk about it. This is the pity bar. Every time you craft an item, regardless if it's on the forging or the alchemist, it will increase your pity by 1 point or 5 points or 10 points, depending on the rarity of the material you use, and if you're also using a forging supplement, which is +1 if it's white, and even more points if it's higher rarities. Once you reach a full bar here, you will have greatly increased chances of making legendary and purple items. You can't make anything lower than purple for one craft. It will be either purple or golden, so it's like 88-12, something like that, and it can also be enhanced by having forging supplements when doing that one craft. Once you craft once with a full bar, it will reset, and it will still keep any points you had beyond 100. So if I had 123, then I craft once, it will have the really high chances of legendary, and it will go back to 23. So it doesn't matter if you add forging supplements that also increase my forging chance and my pity, it will carry over to the next bar. So don't worry about wasting your pity, because it carries over any points you make. There's also the hard pity, which is when you fail to craft an item 6 times, you fail to make a legendary. But it's also guaranteed even if you succeed. So I shouldn't even say fail, I should say that once you reach pity 6 times, regardless if it works or not, you have a guaranteed one once you reach 600 forging points, which is the same thing that fills the bar here. If I get +1 here, I will get another one here. So if I get another 27 points, which will be my 6th bar, I will have a guaranteed legendary. These ones don't increase my pity bar, so let's try to use a higher rarity. Don't have enough. These ones will increase by 4. And you will see in one of these crafts, which is when I reach 100, it will be a guaranteed one. Made it green. And there we go. It's a guaranteed one because it was my 6th pity. I got my legendary peel. And now I need to fill 5 more pities for pills in terms of alchemy to get another guaranteed legendary. I went back to 5 points. And that's it. Now with forging, we're finishing it now. Let's see if I got lucky. I only made blues. Yeah, the chance was pretty low, 2.4%, so yeah. And I increased my pity bar by quite a bit as well. Now, if I want to increase it more to reach 100, I have to either use blue items or better, or use more forging supplements here, which will be from this one. And once the bar is full, I will be... Do I have enough? No, I don't. I would have a really high chance of making a legendary, and it would also be building my hard pity. The best way of getting this is by farming the white rarity ones, and for that you will need a level 50 gardener. With a level 50 gardener you can instantly harvest the white forging supplements, and you can also tell the gardener to instantly replant them. So in a few seconds it will be planting and harvesting repeatedly very fast, so it will give you a bunch of white forging supplements pretty much instantly without wasting any time. And you want to do this because your garden should be planting low seeds, so you won't be wasting a lot of space by using forging supplements. You should be planting low seeds, and that's a good way of freeing up some space. Like, okay, I'm gonna harvest 2 low fruits here really quick, get my white materials that I have been saving plants for, like for 1 month. I get all my white forging supplements, and I go back to planting low fruits without wasting any time. And even the white ones are pretty good, as you have seen before. They give you +1 here, and I have a very small chance of making a legendary. I think that's about it for crafting. You know what pity is, you know the hard pity, you know that the rarity increases with the forging supplement and with the material you're using. And one last thing is that it's a good idea to use as many increases as you can at once. So let's say I have a full bar, which is, I think, 12% chance of a legendary. It's a good idea to use the best forging material I can, which is this one. Here it would be blue, but I need to use the best one I can. And I should also be adding a forging supplement. The chances will be added up, and that's mathematically the best probability you have of making a legendary. If you make them separately, all the 3, like your forging pities separately, then you try to craft with only the high rarity material, and then you use the forging supplement on something of white rarity. That would give you a lesser chance of making a legendary than if you use everything together. So usually you want to stack everything up and try to make a legendary. But the difference is very small, so don't waste time waiting. I'm gonna wait until I have the full bar here so I can use my forging supplement. No, it's not necessary. Once you see you have the opportunity of using 2 things together, go for it. But you shouldn't be aiming for it, preparing for it. It's not worth it. It's very small increase. And that's about it. Oh, and for pills, if the rarity is really low, like if I go here and try to make agility pills, my material here, my plant, is purple rarity, but let's say it was white, really low rarity. It would have like 50% chance of failing, of giving me nothing. I wouldn't even get a pill, I would simply lose my materials. So that's one thing to also keep in mind when doing stock pills, is that if you harvest them too early and you have a low rarity plant, you have a chance of failing your craft or making a lower rarity, which is not good. That's about it.